Just a brief introduction. Today, the 15th of September, on the calendar of the church is Our Lady of Sorrows. Yesterday, the 14th, is the Feast of the Exaltation of the Cross, where we call to mind that Christ won salvation by his glorious victory. But on today, we recognize that victory cost the life of Mary's son. And so this is where we get the idea of the sorrowful heart of Mary. And today, in all of these Masses, we're keeping in mind and praying for any of you who have lost a child, to pray for you, and just to know that sometimes that wound runs deep and needs some prayer and healing, particularly like miscarriage, which is a very silent suffering. But anyway, anyone who's lost a child, just know that today you're being prayed for. And after Mass, at the front table, our Respect Life ministry has a flower for you to take, if that's you, and a beautiful prayer card to help you to pray through that. And we have two religious sisters here today. If anyone just wants to talk to somebody about that, if that's still in your heart, just know that that's here for you, okay? We'll keep that intention in our prayers. Today, here we at St. Paul's, we are embarking on a new message series. We do those here at St. Paul's. We'll take a theme and journey through it for about 6 weeks. We're going to begin that today, and our message series is called 8th Grade Faith. What that means is my faith still in 8th grade? No offense to 8th graders. If you're in 8th grade, that's totally fine to have 8th grade faith. But if I'm in my 40s, is it okay to have a faith of an 8th grader? Just to kind of ponder that. What does it mean to grow in faith, and for faith to mature and to grow into, as St. Paul would say, into the full stature of Christ? What does that mean? The context of the prodigal son can help us with that. Today our focus is for us to look at the older brother. Can we do that? To look at the older brother in the parable of the prodigal son. We certainly know with the younger son what he did. He was the rule breaker. He just went out and did whatever he wanted, and we're so amazed at God's mercy to bring back and welcome his son. The older brother, let's focus on him. The older brother is the one who is not the rule breaker. He's the rule keeper. But yet he fails to have a relationship with his father. There is nothing wrong with rules. When you think about, like, in junior high and 8th grade, you are parents when you raise your kids, it's about setting the rules. Like, that's how we learn growing up. Don't cross the street. Don't touch that. It's hot. Do this. Make your bed. Brush your teeth. You know what I'm saying? They're just, life is filled with a bunch of rules and commands, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not at all condemning that. But those rules are all there, and they're meant to guide us and to bring us into a relationship. And so the older brother in the parable seems to be stuck in the rules. He's followed all the rules of his home, and yet he has no relationship with the members of his family. He's not broken any of the rules, but he is neither in a relationship with his brother nor with his father. And isn't that the point of a home? Again, don't misunderstand me. I'm not speaking about against rules, but rules are meant to lead us into a relationship. Can I give an example with my life and with my grandmother? When I was in 4th grade, my grandfather died of cancer, my dad's dad. And Grandma lived about 5 blocks away, so my younger brother and I took over the responsibility of mowing Grandma's yard because Grandpa's gone. So in the summer, once a week, Joe, my brother and I, we would hop on our bikes, and I don't know, we're 10 and 11, and we'd ride to Grandma's house, and it seemed like it'd take us forever to mow Grandpa's big yard. And we'd come into the house, and we'd sit with Grandma, Joe and I and Grandma, at a little table, and we'd get a soda. We'd get a soda, and then Grandma would teach us how to play pinochle. Any pinochle players here? Grandma taught us pinochle. Pinochle is a bit of a complicated game. And when I first started learning pinochle and Grandma was first teaching it, it was hard to understand. There's a lot of rules. Like, okay, no, this is meld and that's not meld. You can play this card and not that. You've all been in the situation where you're trying to learn a new game, and it's just all about, how do I play this game? There's a lot of rules to it. But then something happened. The day came where, and I didn't even realize it, week after week, the day came where all of a sudden, I'm just playing pinochle with Grandma. And spending the afternoon playing pinochle with Grandma, week after week after week. I grew into have this amazing relationship with my grandma. And it was centered around playing pinochle and mowing her lawn. When I got into high school, I would go to her house 2 or 3 days a week after practice or whatnot, just visit Grandma. Grandma, do you need something? And I had the great privilege, my first year as a priest, to do her funeral. I say this because I had a great intimate relationship with my grandma. God the Father wants to have an intimate, deep relationship with you. And it happens in the context of our faith. And the rules of our faith are there for a reason, but they're meant to usher in this pinochle game, if I could be so vain, secular, right? But it's about entering into this relationship of intimacy. We need to follow the rules, but the rules are a launch pad into this. I mean, if I were playing pinochle with my grandma and I kept breaking the rules, or my brother Joe kept doing something, would you knock it off and just play the game right? Like, you need to do that. So I'm not mocking the rules, but it's meant to lead us somewhere. We see with the older brother in the prodigal son story. He's unwilling to come into the feast, and his father comes out to him in the same way that his father came out to the younger son. In both cases, the father runs out to meet his sons, doesn't he? He treats them both the same. He runs out to them. Son, come in. I have followed every one of your rules. That's what it says. I have never disobeyed any one of your orders. And I'm grateful. Can we talk? Let's be father-son. Everything I have is yours. Or is that what it's about? At the end of the day, is it about you want the father blue ribbon? Can we just play pinochle together and have a soda? I don't know where you are in your faith. We need to know our faith. Don't get me wrong. And I want all of you to know how to play it. Those rules are there, and they're meant to launch us into this great relationship of intimacy with God. How I wish I could just play pinochle with Grandma. Is your faith that way, where I just want to spend some time with God? I have a relationship with God. I just want to spend some time with Him. Just be together. Share my life. Be forgiven. Be raised up. Made new. This is what Jesus is offering. C.S. Lewis, who is one of my favorite authors, speaks about Jesus as a very elusive, challenging man, and Christianity is utterly different from all other world religions in this point right here. In all world religions, the founders, they left a philosophy. They wrote a book. Here it is. Jesus never wrote anything. The only thing he ever wrote was when the woman caught in adultery was brought before him, and he bent down and wrote on the ground, and we have no idea what he wrote. What C.S. Lewis says is, following Christianity is not about a specific philosophy or a specific book. It's about a relationship with the person of Jesus Christ. which is why it's always a struggle, because to be in a relationship with a person is not easy. To understand a formula is. To be in relationship takes everything from us. It causes our heart to have to expand and move. I'm not against theologies. I'm not against any of that. Hope you know that. Huh? The point of today is, where's your faith? We have a Father that wants to be with you. Just want to play some pinochle.